Hi and welcome back to the Beautiful Things and Memories vlog. This is Elena Kino from ElenaKino.com, and to be honest, I'm not sure if my hair is going to work fine with this. It's kind of unruly right now. But first, let's get the coffee started. So why do I put straws on my coffee? Because I heard that coffee stains the teeth. So my teeth are already not that white, so I don't want them to become brown. Brown is even darker than yellow, so you get what I mean. And of course, in the background, we have Rainbow Ruby, Audrey's current favorite. Okay, I'll just lower down the volume. Nayan ako, Audrey. Okay, so there we go. So today I'm gonna talk to you about just a little few things about my creative journey and how I started. Okay, I'm just adjusting this now. There. I think that's straight enough. And the content for this is at my website at the about page, ElenaKino.com/about. Audrey! Okay, so what I'm gonna start with is I believe that every person is creative just for the mere fact that we are able to create other humans along the way. It means we are co-creators. Creativity is something that each and every one of us has, and it's just a matter of being able to cultivate it and hone it throughout your lifetime. My last memory of my own creativity was when I was really young. Not that young, not like before school, but in grade 4, I remember I used to create cartoon comics with my classmate Angelica. Jai Jai, if you're watching, shout out. Remember that time? We used to create these comics. We drew the cartoons and then we put in the dialogues and all that stuff. It created stories out of it. It was so fun. I think that was grade 4 or grade 3. I think that was grade 3. And then in grade 5, when my parents started to, have a kind of rocky relationship, and when they eventually separated, I got more time to myself. You know how it is with adolescence, right? When you're going through adolescence, right, it's like the perfect time to be moody. Yeah, going through teenage years, I remember that I would write and write and write, and it was also the time when I was in grade 6 that the Harry Potter series first came out, and so I was like, I grew up with Harry Potter. My generation, our age were almost the same at the time. I guess that's what I mean when I say that I grew up with Harry Potter. So I started writing and I created stories. It was for fun. It was always for fun. And it was fiction writing and created stories about teens and all that stuff. And I met my best friend in grade 6, Graciela, or Kakay, as we call her, and we both loved writing and we both loved reading at the same time, and we read so many comic books, and so many novels, and teen fiction and other YA novels. Is it called young adult novels? I'm not sure, but yeah. In high school, I was kind of a very disturbed kid. I was late for class almost all the time, and when I was always late, I was always made fun of. Not really made fun of, but the teacher made fun of me. She would say that I was too early for the next class, and yeah, and that was fine. And I remember when I was in first year, when my parents separated, my dad went away, and my mom was a single mom who raised us with the help of her sisters also. My aunt, she was the one who sent me to high school in a private school. And so, although we weren't economically, well off, I entered a private school, which was predominantly enrolled to by students who were from families who had the capability, the financial capacity to pay for the tuition. As for me, my auntie paid for my tuition. There were certain rules in that school where you had to wear flat shoes. You can't wear heels to school. You had to wear flat leather shoes, and my mom was not able to afford new shoes for me at the time, so I would wear her shoes to school. My mom's shoes, she's a size 7 and I was only like first year high school, so I barely was a size 6, I probably think, because now I'm a size 6. I would wear her office shoes, which were heels, 2 to 3 inch heels, and our classroom moderator at the time when I was in high school would call me out and say that this is not a fashion show and you are not supposed to be wearing those heels in school. I felt like she mocked me for wearing those shoes, even when she didn't know the full story of why that was the only pair of shoes that I had. I probably had another set of shoes at the time, but I just wasn't able to wear them for some reason. I knew the rules, so there must have been some, I forgot, but there must have been some reason why I had to wear those. And so she made me stand up in the middle of the classroom and called me out and told me in front of all of my classmates that I wasn't supposed to be wearing those. And I felt so embarrassed. And at the same time, looking back, I feel a little sorry for myself back then. No, not really sorry, but that kind of pity on yourself. And whenever I feel that kind of pity on myself as I look at who I was in the past, it always brings me to tears, but I guess I've overcome that now because I'm not very tearful right now. It is just a funny moment for me. But that teacher, she wasn't always mean to me. Sometimes when I cried in school because I missed the family that I used to have when I was in my grade school, when my family was complete. And so I would randomly cry in the middle of a mass because that was a Catholic school. I would randomly cry and she would comfort me, our class moderator. And so I really don't think that she was being mean. I think that she was just setting an example for everyone, and she really didn't know the story about why I was wearing high heels. She must have thought that I was just being cocky or something, that I was just being a diva or something. But yeah, that was my story in high school. And in college, I also have these other stories that I find myself to be very, I would feel for that girl who I was in the past. So another story was when I started going out with my boyfriend. He had a set of friends, all boys of course, and they were their sense of humor was something that, the kind that boys usually have. So his friends would just say whatever they want to say about you and things like that. And one time they commented that I seemed like, or I looked like a mom or something along those lines, because I was the one taking care of my siblings. They were younger than me, so I have 4 younger siblings. I think it was something that I said that they made fun of, that they said that you're like a mom. And as a teenager, you don't want to be called like a mom because you're a teenager and you're just a kid, but with responsibilities, because I was in that situation. And it really hit me. And honestly, secretly, I was so offended because I was not like a mom. I did not want to be like a mom when I was a teenager. And so, yeah, I didn't really. I could remember that the guy who said it, but I didn't really hold any grudges against him. It was just that, I tend to understand people a lot. And probably didn't know better than to comment something like that on, because he didn't know that I was sensitive and he didn't know that it was true that I was like a mom at home. So yeah, those kinds of comments, sometimes they hurt people, but it's through the hurt that you feel that you get to learn something. And these hurts that you feel, they will make you stronger, because once you get to overcome them, once you get to understand them and see from the other person's perspective, you get to understand people more and you get to be the stronger person. In college, during my teen years, I wasn't able to do more writing. I did start blogging and I did writing through blogging because of the nature of my degree at the time. I was studying nursing, and so it was kind of a time-consuming course. And at the same time, when you're in college, you're always just out partying, right? When you're not studying, you're partying. So I was not able to write a lot. But yeah, it was during that time when I spontaneously posted on my blog, and then when I graduated from college, I then took on jobs, and I not completely forgot, but I still posted here and there. And it's just when I was in Dubai, when I was feeling really dissatisfied with my job there and a little depressed, that I felt the need to find a job that I really loved. And what I really loved was writing, and what I really loved was content creation. And that's what led me here. And so it wasn't until I had a child, which is so funny because when you have a child, you have lesser time to do things by yourself, right? So I could have done this when I didn't have a child, and now I have a child and I am doing this. So it's just a lesson for all of you out there who still don't have children, to pursue everything that you want to pursue before you have children, because once you have children, they are your priority. I still continue to create content, and finally I became more consistent, or not really consistent all the time, but regular with the content that I'm making, and that I'm making them up until now. So it has been 2 years ever since my child was born, and ever since I started going back to web development, and then started going back to blogging consistently, and then putting content out there through my vlog and the podcast. That's my creative journey. That's my creative story. I just feel like everything that has ever happened to me has served me in some way. And I feel like in this storytelling session, I feel like I'm just rambling because I really don't have any notes with me right now. I just feel like talking to you, like, just a chill chat. And let's drink more coffee. So yeah, that was the story of my creativity. And I really love this field, and it's important to love the field that you're in because, and I'm going to talk about your purpose maybe in the next vlog, but it's very important to love what you're doing because it will sustain you in the long run when things seem very hard, when it's so hard to create content again. Loving what you do is so important in that case because it reminds you that you have a purpose, that there is a reason why you started this, even if no one asked you to, even if no one told you to. And I guess that's one of the biggest things about creativity that I really love. I can't just say that, I love offices, I love office work, I love corporate jobs, because it's not true for me. I don't like that kind of life, and I love being creative because of that, because of the freedom that I get. Oh, and there's another story about this that is related to freedom and creativity and office jobs. When I was working in Dubai, one of my coworkers told me, she said that, I don't know, if you don't really want to work here and you don't really want to have like a boss, and maybe you should start a business. But she was saying it not in a very empowering, inspiring, encouraging way. She was saying it in a mocking way, like, you can't really start a business because you don't have what it takes. That's how it felt for me. But still, this is the kind of job that I want. I want to be in the field of web development. I want to have that kind of job, and it's the kind of job that is more freeing and flexible for me than working in an office where there are people who would where you have to talk to people who have politics in their heads all the time. And I'm very much stressed with that kind of situation. I don't like office politics, and I try to avoid politics as much as possible. And I don't want to have to deal with people who love talking about politics and who are all about that life, because I am more of a collaboration over competition kind of girl, and not, the competitive one. In the family, I don't think so that I was. I'm always somebody who encourages others and supports others and understands others for who they are, and not force them to be who they are not, and not force them to show up when they don't want to. There's only so much you can do to force or to manipulate people to do the things that you want them to do. They will always be the same kind of people that they are, and they are doing the best that they can with what they have. It's just that you don't have similar experiences and your personalities are different, so that's why they work on their own path, and you can also try to work on your own path and try to encourage them, but avoid manipulating people just so you can push your own agenda or something. I don't know. Those are like the three main stories that I remember with regards to my creativity and how I started throughout this journey. And I feel like it has been a wild ride for me in a sense that it has been an adventure, because I always had to try to find time to do this content thing in front of the camera while my toddler's around. And before she was just a baby, now she's a toddler. Last night I was remembering the time when she was still a newborn, and whenever I had 4 hours straight of her sleeping, I was so happy because I could do everything anything that I wanted. But then again, she would wake up every hour, every 2 hours, and yeah, that's life. But I'm so happy where I am now. I am so grateful, and I feel like God has really good plans for me and for everyone. Everything that ever happened to me has served me, and everything that I ever felt has served me. All emotions serve you. Everything that happened to you serves you. These things shape us into the kind of person that we are today, and if it weren't for all those experiences, you wouldn't be here right now, appreciating this life and appreciating what you have. And always remember, that you have survived 100% of all your bad days. And if something bad happens, no matter, the worst kind of situations or scenarios, know that as long as you are alive, you can still do something about it. You can still feel. If you still feel, even if it's a feeling of pain or hurt, know that you have life because of that feeling. You are alive. You are alive because you are feeling. And when you feel pain and hurt, it's not going to last, forever unless you allow it to. You have the capacity and the power to feel, and then to look at that feeling as it is, a feeling, and it's there to serve you, and it's not there to stop you or to hinder you in any way. It's not there to put you down. It's there to help remind you that you are human and that you do feel feelings when you're triggered by things or when situations happen in your life. And that's good. It's good that you're able to become aware of how you are feeling, because this is the first step for you to overcome that feeling, to heal from it, to support yourself. Because of all the people in this world who support you, you should be the one who's supporting you the most. And I don't like to say should a lot of the time, but I think that that's a very strong message that I really want to say to people, or especially to you, that you have to be able to support yourself, because that is how you build a strong foundation for who you are, as a person. When you're able to support yourself mentally, emotionally, even if it's not financially for now, but mentally and emotionally, nobody can ever take that away from you, right? Financially, people can take away your money, but people can't take away your thoughts and feelings, so you have to be able to support that throughout your lifetime. And I know this is kind of a pretty heavy episode here and there, but I just wanted to share this message. So my video stopped. And so that's it for today's vlog. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next vlog. If you like this vlog, please click the like button below. Comment down below any comments you have about your own creative journey and why you started your content creation game. Share this video if you want, and subscribe for more videos like this. See you again in the next vlog. Take care. Bye.